If you plan on being in business and you're listening to Dave Ramsey on how to manage your money, you're listening to the wrong person. Hey, what's up? It's Aaron, and welcome back to the CashPT Lunch Hour podcast. Today, we're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about your money, other people's money, and the money in the world. The money that makes things go around, the money that matters. Like, I thought maybe I've talked about this enough, but clearly I haven't. Okay, there's a post we put up on Instagram a few weeks ago, and let me just pull it up so I can remember it and read it out to you. And then there was a comment in our group in the CashPT Nation about something very similar about what do I charge. And I realized that people still are getting bad information about money in school from their professors, from the world around them, from your parents, etc. So we're going to talk about how to level up your mindset, how to make your money matter, and how to sell physical therapy for more than $200 a visit in this episode. So buckle up, hang on, hang out, because we're going to really get into it. But before we get into the show, what I want to say is thanks for being a loyal listener. If you'd like to learn more, not just podcast episodes, but see more, make sure you follow me over on Instagram at Aaron LeBauer. And if you have a business and you've been going for a while, you're looking for more new patients, make sure you get our 35 Marketing Strategies report, 35marketingstrategies.com. If you're just in the launch phase and you're trying to launch a cash practice, make sure you get the CashPT checklist. It's cashptchecklist.com. There'll be links and stuff in the show notes. For sure, we've got a lot of other resources. The CashPT Blueprint case study group coming up. It's for physical therapists who want to launch a six-figure practice in 90 days. We've got a Platinum Mastermind program that's for established PT business owners who want to scale to multi-six and seven figures in the course of the next 24 to 36 months. So we've got lots of programs and resources, and people have been asking about them. You want to learn more about them, you can go check out my website, aaronlebauer.com, or go to those links, get the free resources. Today, what I want to do is talk to you about money, because we need to put this money conversation behind us. We really do. But I understand that this is a conversation we're going to have to keep having. Just like an objections conversation, we're going to have to keep having the conversation, because by having the conversation, it makes us better. By talking about money in positive ways, we see money in a positive outlook. I think in 2020, I gave away more money than I ever had in 2020. And there were a lot of social causes coming up and a lot of reasons to do that. And I had a lot of money and I had no expenses. And I was like, I need to give more away, right? So I was able to give away money to causes I believe in, okay? It wasn't until this year at PT BizCon that I was able to give away a significant amount of money that we were able to support someone for a full year. So here's what we did at PT BizCon this year in 2022. We partnered with Stand the Haiti Project. I actually didn't partner with them. What I did is I said, hey, we're going to make a donation. Can I get your logo? It was still online. So we took all the proceeds from our online store and we sent them. And I said, hey, I'm going to donate all the proceeds from Stand the Haiti Project to the online store. Well, actually what we ended up doing was taking all the money spent in the online store, and then I matched it personally and donate it to Stand the Haiti Project. So this is all the money for coffee mugs, t-shirts. We had other bags. We donated enough to cover a physical therapist's salary for 10 months at their clinic in Haiti. Okay, so next year, my goal is to raise enough money to pay for 2 physical therapists' salary for a full year. We donated over $3,000, $3,143, to Stand the Haiti Project. It's one of the largest I don't think it's the largest donation they've ever had. I mean, it's still a small amount of money. But what was amazing is that Justin said, hey, this is going to pretty much cover a full-time salary for one of their therapists. Now, they haven't been able to send American therapists down there for the last few years. They've only been able to send supplies and money to buy supplies and to pay for their local therapists who live there to work at the clinic. I don't know if now they're doing more missions again, but this is a organization that means a lot to me because they're taking physical therapy and providing it to people that not only wouldn't otherwise have it, they wouldn't otherwise have any physical therapy. And this was, I think they started this after the massive earthquake they had down there. So anyways, they're doing a lot of great and they're doing a lot of good in the world. If you feel compelled to support them, please go do that. But what I'm saying is because I was able to charge for shirts, we charged $25 a shirt so that we would have enough profit to donate because I'm selling it online. Like I'm not buying the shirts for $7. Like the online and the shipping and the online store, like it was like our cost was like $18 or something that for the printing of the shirt and the shipping, right? So we wanted to have a margin. And then I realized, let's just take all the money that passed through the store and send it rather than saying a couple $100. Now that's money doing things for good. Now, one of my goals is to be able to donate enough money to make a significant difference in someone's or some organization's life. And I want to donate more than $3,000. I've donated more than $3,000 in 2020 for sure. I can't remember. It was well over $10,000. But I want to be able to donate tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to organizations and causes I believe in. Now, I can't do that if I'm unwilling to charge a fair price for physical therapy or for business coaching. Like I'm unable to do that if I have a poor money mindset because I'm afraid the money's going to go away. I'm unable to do good things like this because I'm afraid to ask other people for money and to pay for what they value. It's like, or to even have a money conversation. So like I said, like $3,000, like I could give that away again today, right? But what I really want to do is I want to give away like a significant amount of money knowing that it's going to impact people's lives dramatically, right? So this is another project that I'm involved. I'm not really involved in it. I'm a member of. It's a NFT. You may not know what NFTs are, but it's called the Doge Pound or the Dog Pound. I think it's called the Doge Pound, whatever. But after their first initial sale, they donated $50,000 to build a shelter in Africa. Now, in other places in the world, $50,000 is going to go a hell of a lot further than it will in, let's say, Wyoming or Utah or New York. And they made a massive change in a bunch of people's lives and a bunch of animals' lives. So that's what we're looking for. So here's the other thing that money can do for you. And this isn't my situation. I don't know your situation, but let's say you have a child with special needs or a parent who needs full-time care at a facility. Money is going to allow you to take care of that person without worrying about where you're going to eat tomorrow, right? It's without worrying about, could I do better for them, right? A lot of us are going to have parents now or soon who need full-time care, and a full-time care facility, let's say with Alzheimer's care, probably costs over $100,000. And if your parents don't have long-term care insurance, like it's going to cost a lot of cash, and maybe they didn't save the money. Where do you want your parents living? Or how do you want your kids? Like you would do anything for your kids. And so we never know when these things are going to happen. And if we're living paycheck to paycheck and we're unable to save and earn money because we're unable to ask for a raise or unable to ask for more than $75 for physical therapy, we're never going to get to a place where we can be in position for a rainy day, right? What someone said is, you probably don't know, I should read this comment. You probably don't know what it looks like to live paycheck to paycheck. I do know what it looks like to live paycheck to paycheck. I've done that. I made $1,300 every 2 weeks as a bike messenger in San Francisco. You think I had savings? I was living in San Francisco. My rent was $450, and at the time that was expensive. That was 18 years ago. That was really expensive, second to New York City. A fourth of my month went to rent. I was riding bikes all day long, so another fourth to a third probably went to food. Probably half of it went to food, and then utilities. I mean, there wasn't much left over. You know what? I did have the ability to say, hey, if I missed a rent payment, I do have parents that are supportive of me. So I had a fail safe. But I know what it's like. And at the same time, I don't know what it's like to not have a fail safe. And many of you might be like, I don't have a fail safe and totally got it. But look, I can tell you this. I've been in debt, not just from school, from racing bikes, from mismanaging my money. And there is a way out of it. If you plan on being in business and you're listening to Dave Ramsey on how to manage your money, you're listening to the wrong person. He's great to teach you how to manage your money if you plan on being an employee. But there's a lot of things about where you spend your money, investing your money, that you do differently as a business owner. Because as a business owner, you're playing a different game. There's different rules to the game than just having a job. If you're trying to scale a cash practice or a physical therapy business or an online coaching business, and you're listening to Dave Ramsey about how to manage your money, listen to someone else. It's time. It's time to step up and be like, I don't need to eat rice-a-roni and pay off all my student loans is federal student loans are the best loans you could ever have, right? Pay those off as slow as possible. And let's go leverage the extra income you have to grow your business dramatically. Because if you can grow it incredibly fast, then you can pay off your student loans with the profit. But you don't pay off the student loans first. You pay yourself first. Okay, that's business lesson number 1. So let me get back to this. Why are we talking about this? So I posted, and this isn't the first time I posted this on Instagram. We posted it on Twitter like a month ago and got a little bit of like a feedback on it. You know, people get all ruffled underwear. So here's what I said. I said, if you would never charge more than $200 a visit for physical therapy, you either A, don't believe what you do actually helps your patients, or B, you don't understand the value of what you do as a physical therapist. And you can go check it out on Instagram. Let's see, it's from May 26, 2022. It's a white post. You can go check it out, go comment on it. But here's the thing is most people saw that and they got triggered by the money, by the more than $200. And I didn't say if you don't, I said if you would never. And there's two different things, like that's semantics, right? If you would never, I'm not saying if you never do or you don't, I said if you would never in the future, it's like a future tense thing, right? If you would never charge more than $200, you don't have to charge more than $200, but if you would never do that, if you don't value yourself at over $200 a visit, then you don't understand what you do as a physical therapist or you're a shitty physical therapist. There's like really two choices. I didn't say you're a shitty physical therapist in there, but all the shitty physical therapists spoke up. Or you don't understand that because you don't believe what you do actually helps your people. If you believed what you did actually helped your patients, you would charge them $500 a visit. I mean, there's really not an amount of money that you can put on giving someone their life back. Whether that's because they can now find, like their community is CrossFit and they haven't been able to go to CrossFit for 2 years. Now they can do that. Their community is Ironman triathlons. Their community is their kids, their family. They can finally get on the floor and play with their grandkids. Their reason is, I can finally have sex with my partner. Right? Like, wouldn't you agree that if someone had pain with sex and it's been 5 years and now within 12 weeks, you could get them back to being intimate and having sex with their partner, that's worth a couple $1,000s, right? Like, I've worked with plenty of pelvic floor patients myself. Many pelvic floor PTs have come through our programs who it's like, this is one of the easiest things. Like, this is a basic life necessity that most people are told there's no solution for. Yet, within 5 to 8 visits, sometimes it's 3 or 4, you can get people back to the activity that means a lot to them. But you will never sell physical therapy for more than $200 if A, you don't believe that you could, you never would pay that much, or B, you only talk about the diagnosis and the body part. I think I said in here, someone replied and was just like, I'm a student. So are you saying that your treatment methods are better, that these things are proven? Research shows it doesn't really matter how you treat patients. They all get better. I'm like, we're not talking about that. I said, we don't do typical physical therapy. And he replies back, is like, so is atypical physical therapy better? What is atypical physical therapy? We are using physical therapy as the tool to solve the problem. But what we're doing is we're changing people's lives. Yes, so that's atypical physical therapy because my focus isn't on the body part and the joint and the protocol. It's what's wrong, how long has it been a problem, what are you unable to do instead, why is this important to you, why is that next thing important to you? So I know that what they want to do is feel strong and confident and a good role model for their kids. The why is the important part. It's not the what or where. Is this making sense? There was also part of the comment was like, people can't afford it. People can't afford $200 for physical therapy. Well, that's your poor money mindset. You can't afford $200 for physical therapy because you're making $45 an hour, or you only value yourself at $45 an hour. You've never been hurt, or you've realized how physical therapy actually helps you. Okay? We were trained to think that we're only worth a copay. You're worth so much more than a copay. You change people's lives. So think back to that person who stopped you on the street and said, Dr. LeBauer, I know I haven't seen you in a few years and I should have mentioned something to you, but since I came to see you, I've been able to go back to yoga. I've been able to deadlift as much as I want. I can live my life again without worrying about damaging my back. Like, you've changed my life. Like, this was one of my patients stopped me at the end of a yoga class. It was like, when I was seeing him, he couldn't go to yoga. He couldn't touch his toes. He couldn't work out in the gym. He had been told there was no help. He had a herniated disc in his back, was from all his years in the service in the Navy. He was done. You're a desk job person. You should never deadlift more than 35 pounds ever again. That is not the first time I've heard that story. It is not the first person that stopped me and said, you've changed my life. Someone else stopped me who I haven't seen in 15 years at the farmer's market a few months ago. It was like, you've changed my life. I've been able to do X, Y, and Z. I mean, it's just, there's so many things, but if you think people can't afford it, they won't. But don't make a judgment about others based on your own beliefs, whether that's about money or about, physical therapy or about what we're doing here talking about on this podcast. So many people are saying new grad can't start a business. Well, that's a judgment about other people based on your own beliefs. Other people can't afford it is a judgment about other people based on your own beliefs. Let them make that decision. Don't make a decision for other people based on your beliefs. That's one of the biggest fallacies that I see in the comments of all these posts that we do about money. There are people making judgments about other people based on your own poor beliefs. That's why hanging out with the wrong people will keep you from business success, because they're making judgments about your business based on their beliefs. So don't do that to other people. If you want to be successful, what you'll do is you'll let other people be them, and you'll do you, and you'll find people that can support you. But don't find people that support you in a poor mindset. Find people that are going to push you and elevate you and put yourself around them. Growth is uncomfortable. You need to be around people that make you uncomfortable and help you grow, not who coddle you and comfort you and tell you you're right. Look, in PT school, they just want you to graduate. In undergrad, they want you to graduate. They want to make sure that you learn the path of how to say yes and do all the right things so you can go get a job. But if you're listening to this podcast, a job is probably not for you. Or by the end of this episode, you'll know, screw that, I'm going to stay in a job because I like comfort. I like knowing exactly how much I make. Right? So just don't make judgments about other people based on your own beliefs. That's how we all get into arguments. Why do you think most wars start over religious disagreements? Is that ring a bell? We're making judgments about other people based on our own beliefs because I'm right and you're not. Okay, I'm right and you're not is a scarcity mindset. Why can't we both be right? Okay, there's not enough money. People can't pay is a scarcity mindset. There's plenty of money. Look, the US government's printing money every day. That's why we have inflation. Because they're printing more money. So it's your job to go out and find your money. Okay, so let me just share with you one other piece of this. It says everyone should have healthcare. Healthcare is a right. Everyone should have free healthcare. You know what? Healthcare is not a right. It's a privilege. It's a privilege we have in the United States. We have a first world problem. Healthcare is a privilege. There are many places in the world where people do not have healthcare, and you know what? They probably outlive many of us. In the United States, we are completely unhealthy. We have a massive problem with obesity, diabetes, preventable diseases in the United States based on our eating habits. And what do? We rely on healthcare to save us. We rely on someone else to save us rather than doing it ourselves. We have first world problems. There are plenty of third world countries or countries that do not have access to healthcare like we do, and they're eating a plant-based diet. They're eating some meat. They're not eating processed foods. They're not eating junk food all night long or Doritos for lunch. They're working for their food. They're growing their food, and they're living pretty darn healthy. So what I'm going to say is healthcare is a privilege. Should everyone have access to it in the United States? Hell yes. So someone can't afford $200. Okay, do they not want to afford it, or they can't actually afford it? Okay, there's two different things. There's a objection and there's a condition. If someone has an iPhone or a Samsung or something like that, and they're paying $100 a month for cell phone service, they can afford physical therapy. If you're like, no, they can't, then you just don't value physical therapy. Back to my original point. You don't value what you do. If someone values what you do and they value physical therapy, they're going to find a way to afford it. And what I'm saying is not you have to charge more than $200, which we do. For one-on-one physical therapy, hell yes, we charge way more than $200. I've got coaching clients that are charging $300, $350, even $400 for physical therapy. I'm not saying you have to only do it that way. I'm saying if you would never charge more than $200 for physical therapy, you don't understand what you would do. Now, let's say there are people in your community who actually can't afford it. Like they just don't have money in the bank, but they want to be seen by you. There's ways you can do it. You can put them on a payment plan. They can pay $60 a week. You can put them on an interest deferred payment plan, which through Care Credit, which is, no interest for 12 months. So $2,000 plan of care divided by 12 or 52 is like, $60. I mean, it's not insurmountable. $2,000 divided by 12, it's $166 a month. Divided by 4, that's $42 a week. People spend more than that on Starbucks coffee. That's a $2,000 plan of care. This is the average plan of care in our business. Changes lives radically, $42 a week. There are plenty of people that can afford that if they value it. The other way to do this is say, hey, look, we're going to do group. So not everyone needs one-on-one physical therapy, and that's the other fallacy about cash-based PT is that everyone thinks, it's all about one-on-one. It's not one-on-one. There are plenty of PTs out there who have an insurance-based practice crushing it with one-on-one care. They may only be doing 30 minutes, maybe 45, some an hour, but you can still do it. It's not one-on-one care that's the differentiator. One-on-many. You can do online group coaching programs. You can do in-person group coaching programs, group exercise programs, etc. $20, 10 people, it's $200 a visit. $25. Many people can afford $25 a week. They come in once a week. Well, if they can afford that, they can almost afford that $2,000 plan of care because it's $42 a week. Okay. If I'm charging enough for 95% of my patients, if I'm charging $225, $250, you know what? I can do pro bono work without it hurting my bank account or impacting my employees. We can do that. There's plenty of ways to get physical therapy in front of everyone who needs it. You're thinking too small. You're thinking too limited. You're thinking too small. You're trained to think and live in scarcity. The world is massively abundant. There are plenty of opportunities out there. And if you work with me, I'm never going to hold you back. I'm only going to encourage you and push you and guide you to making this work down the right path, right? So think about this. If you would never pay more than $200 for physical therapy, how could you ever agree with the statement that I just made? So there was another post in CashPT Nation. It's like, I got my LLC approved and was trying to come up with pricing. Any suggestions? Compare yourself to others around you and see what the going rate is and decide yours. No, don't do that. You determine your value. You do. But think about it. How do you determine your prices? Well, one, don't charge a copay. Don't charge more than a copay. Think about it not in how much you charge per hour, but in the transformation. Like if I can help you make a life-changing transformation, I think $2,000 is about right. Okay? Like maybe it's $5,000, maybe it's $50,000, maybe it's 50. What I'm going to tell you right here, right now is don't come to me, say, Aaron, I'm struggling and I'm charging $25 per muscle to needle people. No, you're doing too many things wrong in that way. One, you're letting other people determine your treatments. You're just being a technician and you're not evaluating people, and it's just about the money. And I understand maybe that's better money than you were being paid, but you can make even better money. Think bigger. What if that person paid you $200 for 45 minutes and you got to be the decision maker, right? Okay, so here's the other thing in here. He says, here's my answer, is charge more, not less. Don't charge less. It's not a race to the bottom. Charge more. Sell your plan of care, and what you charge will be less than the value of what you provide, because what you provide to patients is so high value. There's almost not a monetary number we can put on it. Okay, so the person replies and says, not sure the people where I live would be able to afford $200 a visit. I probably couldn't afford $200 a visit. The higher your price, the smaller amount of people that will be able to buy from you. That was my original thinking. So the higher price, it's not the less people will be able to buy, it's the less people you need to make $100,000 or to donate $100,000. Okay? It's not less people will be able to buy from you. It's not like we're talking about, $150,000 Bugatti, like when a $20,000 Hyundai will get you to the same place, right? We're talking about a healthcare service. I think I said this to someone, and I said, look, $2,000 is a small price to pay to avoid a hospital-borne infection and dying on the operating table. That person replied something like, oh, well, that isn't going to happen, or Or people pay just about the same amount for an MRI. It's like, I don't want to pay $3,500 for an MRI when I could have just paid $2,000 for PT and not been scared to death. Think about this. Like, you as a physical therapist, if you only charge $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 for someone to fix their back pain, and you did it without an MRI or surgery, you saved them $3,500 from the MRI, and you saved them, I don't know, another $3,500 or $5,000 from the surgery. But what did you save them from? You saved them from that staph infection that might kill them. You saved them from being paralyzed, which happened to a family friend recently, lost feeling down one leg from a spine surgery. You saved them from a possible aneurysm, which happened to my cousin, had a blood clot in his vena cava. It was 3 or 4 inches long after a spinal surgery. You saved him from dying on the operating table, which happened to a local physician I met about 10 years ago, who told me how great all his patients said their experience was working in our business and how well we'd help them. I think he was a rheumatologist. And then a few months later, I found out he had died during a routine, in air quotes, back surgery. Many reasons why that could have happened. But for $5,000, I'd rather bet $5,000 in physical therapy versus hop in an operating room. Wouldn't you? Right? Like, I'd probably put down I'd put down $100,000 if it meant dying. I'd double mortgage my house, right? I'd pay whatever I could. But that's the urgency I need you to understand about what we do as physical therapists. We provide conservative care. The worst thing that we can do to people is the TheraBand breaks on them in the bathroom. It hits them in the face, makes them blind. They fall over and hit their head on the linoleum and die, right? I don't know that that's happened, but I know one senator got hit in the face by a broken TheraBand. Like, that's probably the most dangerous part of our job. That's a freak accident. That is not your fault. What I'm saying is the next worst thing we can do is burn someone with too much ice, right? It's not the heat that's going to burn them. It's the ice pack. We don't use ice in our clinic. Okay, maybe you can puncture a lung with dry needling. If you're doing it right, you understand human anatomy. You're not going to put a needle, 3 or 4 inch needle, perpendicularly in through the thoracic region to needle someone's rhomboids. You're not going to go perpendicular. You're just not going to do that. What you're doing is conservative. It is helpful. It is amazing. And it is okay to charge for it. It is perfectly fine. If you charge enough for physical therapy, then you can hire another amazing therapist to see more patients in your area. So you can spend your time focused on your family, your interests, your exercise, your sports, or growing your business, or even growing your side hustle, growing an online coaching business. You can do so much. You can donate. You can build up your $100,000 cash reserve. You can max out your IRAs. You can invest in crypto. You can invest more in the stock market. You can start buying real estate. And you know what? You can have money left over to take care of your kids, to take care of your parents, to donate and do good in the world. $1 million a year is a small amount. In the big scheme of things, it's not that much money. There are people out there making $1 million a month. So what I want you to do, instead of asking yourself, how do I make $100,000 this year? Ask yourself, how do I make $100,000 a month? How do I donate $100,000 a month? If we could all donate $100,000 a month, wouldn't that be pretty damn cool? Let's think about it like that. Think about it in a way that makes your money matter. Because if your money doesn't matter, why are we doing this? Find a reason or a cause, something, so that every time you see a patient, $5, $10 goes to that cause. Every time you pull profit out of your business, 5-10% goes to that cause. Because if your money matters, then you're going to change the world and you're going to change your life. If your money doesn't matter, then it's all about eating tomorrow. So make your money matter. Don't buy stupid shit. Invest in yourself, in your business, and your business growth. So let me go back to that investing conversation real quick. If you have high interest rate credit cards, yeah, pay them down. But look, I don't care if you have a 20% interest rate on your credit card if you use it for business coaching and you grow your business 100% this year, or you grow your business 22%. That's a good investment. If you can take your business from $3,000 a month to $10,000 a month, that's more than 100% growth. That's like 120% growth. So what if you keep $15,000, $20,000 on your credit card, which is earning 18%? So what? Your business just grew by 100%. That interest is covered, okay? But you go and you go buy stupid things, like you buy a PlayStation, you buy all the games, You buy, I don't know, what are stupid things kids buy these days? BMW, when you're making $85,000 and you have a $400, $500 a month payment, okay, that becomes a liability. Real estate isn't a liability, but a car is going to depreciate in value. Right now, during 2020, cars are kind of appreciating depending on the car. But if you want to buy a new car, build an asset first and buy the car through your business. That's way you don't pay taxes on the money that goes to your car or your insurance for your car. Like those are business expenses. Do it smart. It's a different game. If you're trying to figure out the rules of the game and you want to grow and scale your business, you might be a great fit for our Platinum Mastermind group, where we not only help you launch your business, we help you grow and scale it so you can automate your business, buy your time back, spend more time with your kids, create this other online program or start with an online program and do more with it. So if you feel like you need some help, you want to be around some amazing people and join us for one of our in-person retreats this year, all you got to do, shoot me a message over on Instagram and say, Aaron, I'm all in. Just comment all in and I'll get back to you with some details about the mastermind because you might be a good fit. But if you're like, I would never charge more than $200, no way ever, Aaron, you're completely wrong. I need to stay over here. I just want to be an employee. I have no interest in doing something new, hard. I don't trust you one bit, and you're full of shit. Like, that's okay. Like, you don't have to listen to the next episode, and you don't have to message me at all. Like, don't. But if you want to grow, you want to change the world, you want to change your community, you want to impact people on a massive scale, just like training for a marathon, just like going through PT school and getting your degree, we all have mentors and coaches. You need a business coach to grow your business faster. I'm not saying you need a business coach to grow your business. You need it to grow it faster in less time, with less waste, with less frustration, with a community of people that support you and push you and help you grow. Because my goal is to work with people who grow businesses bigger than mine, right? I want you to outpace me. I want you to grow faster than I grew. I want you to do it better than I did it, because I don't want you to just come up to me. I want to see you thrive and grow and go faster. So if that's you, shoot me a message that says I'm all in. Otherwise, if you're like not there yet, that's okay. Plenty of other resources for you, but just be sure you tune into the next episode because I've got some good episodes coming out. I'm super excited to be back recording the podcast. Hopefully this money conversation helped you. I'd love to know what your insights were. So if you're watching on YouTube, please comment below. If you are listening in your head, would love you to just like take a picture of the screen and post it as an Instagram story. Tag me at Aaron LeBauer and put your top lesson or insight in there. That would be amazing. Grow big, grow fast, find support, and get out there and make your money matter. And we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.